Hello everyone and welcome to QualityOldGames. Today we are having another video and actually the real first test video in How Good Is series, and we are testing Scythed Chariots. And as it's recruited from Blacksmith, it actually gets that +1 attack for free. And it seems that the consensus was in the discussions that the unit should be tested without any upgrades. They don't actually get from the building from which they are recruited. So thus, I mean, this unit would have been identical in both cases, with those extra upgrades and without them. But for other units, there are differences. And it seems these guys are scything through the whole enemy army.
This is no way for a leader to behave, but in battle it is beyond belief.
So, and they haven't suffered any casualties even. Is someone fighting to death?
The enemy
Yeah.
are utterly beaten. This is a crushing victory worthy of a great general.
So, 100 points out of 100 from versus Horde. So the Urban Cohorts over here might be somewhat tougher nut to crack with the Chariots. And by the way, if you want to see those tests for upgraded units, or units with upgrades, then of course we can do another round of tests with, say, maximum upgrades available from the same tier settlement from which the unit is recruited, and so on and so forth. Okay, and let's see how we will fare. Inflicting some casualties at the very least. And get over there before you eat that pillar volley. Okay, that was rather impressive first charge. And let's have you form up properly before we go after these again. So let's see if we just make YOLO charge. Well, of course, to their rear, but yeah. But in any case, just charging through. Are they taking? Yeah, they are taking casualties. And the leader unit, yeah. And it's, once again, 100 points out of 100.
This is a crushing victory worthy of a great general.
I'm beginning to like these Scythed Chariots more and more. And my assumption is that the unit's performance will continue as strongly as it has been doing this far. Because, well, Chariots should excel against Cavalry. So the idea is to charge both of these with 2 and then continue with the whole bunch against the Legionary Cavalry. Let's see how we will fare. Okay, this time we actually did suffer casualties. Not that much, but
the enemy's hearts are full of fear, and now they
interestingly, I thought that this would have been easier against Cavalry. I mean, it seems that we lost units in the initial impact and some of them in the middle of the enemy formation. Perhaps it should be tested whether or not I should have used these as a flanking force, or the other unit as a flanking force as well. So let's have the test actually again and see if we can improve the results by sending some of the units to the flanks and others charging directly ahead. I think we lost something like 14. And actually you could walk for a while and then to ramming speed, so to speak. No, it seems we cannot get a flank going properly over here because those cavalries moved to intercept. Yeah, this is way worse. Interesting. So against cavalry, it seems that one should use chariots as a clumped up ball. So yeah, we took over 40 casualties this way, and with absolutely no tactics, we just took less than 15 casualties. Interesting. Actually, one additional go. I don't remember if I had the upgrade selected for the unit. I mean, this test is really nice, but there are so many things to remember in doing it actually. The terrains, what enemies to have, what upgrades to have for the units, etc, etc. Okay. I don't know if it's due to upgrades or not, but that went quite a bit better. So only 4 casualties suffered. I don't know, maybe there was some RNG in the previous battle as well. So let's have you guys going after those. You should head after the general, and where is the... Okay, and you go after that one. And then let's see how on par my micro is after the initial charge. So basically, we want to prevent them from firing any missiles at us. Okay. Well, it seems that the winning streak of the chariots is still continuing strong. We took 1 casualty. I mean, rather impressive. So, let's see about against the horse archers. I mean, they could pose some difficulties. They are just trying to skew my charts, but I think the AI might be a bit baffled how to deal with these. Of course, if they get to the... That's... Oh! That skirmish mode going properly, they are bound to inflict some damage to us. They indeed are bound to inflict some damage. So I wouldn't have thought that horse archers can actually be this good a counter against Scythed Chariots. Of course, in the tests, I mean, yeah, they have performed well against the Seleucid Cavalry rostered chariots. Of course, because, well, they cannot get to melee. But this was somewhat of a surprise. Of course, RNG, bad luck, that unit starting to run amok. But still, I think relatively impressive. Okay, I think we caught this one.
The enemy general flees! Press forward so that the spirit of his army is a broken tool!
Perhaps this formation was not... Okay. Whoops. So clearly that formation was not the most optimal one. I think I need to redo this one. Okay. So are the horse archers actually beating the whole army? Yeah, they won. That's a surprise, even though perhaps it shouldn't be, but it was a surprise. So 232 men remaining. Perhaps I will give it another try. So basically, yeah, another try. So the basic idea... So the basic idea with the as wide formation as possible was that that way we could even accidentally get the horse archers to melee, but as you saw, that was not quite the case. So let's see if a bit more clumped up formation could do better. That general is running away.
Has thrown away his life and now feeds the carrion birds. His men may soon be.
That's no way for, well, at least Roman to behave, but I guess these are Seleukits. Okay, these are running amok. It might very well be that the latest approach actually was even the better one. Well, perhaps not.
The enemy general is running away. This is no way for a leader to behave, but in battle it is beyond.
So they still have one unit in the battlefield. And perhaps we should chase these guys out to make sure that they are not coming back. Which they were about to do. Okay, and then let's try to catch this one, so that these units running amok don't actually catch us. This is a bit tricky. Okay.
The enemy. This is a heroic victory, worthy of Greek soldiers.
So I guess there is at least to some degree RNG involved, but yeah. Clear victory though. We did suffer quite heavy casualties. One of the unit exited battle map, one was still running amok. So by no means an easy victory for these. Okay, overall, based on the performance, this should be relatively easy pickings for us. So let's send this unit to flank. We will begin taking down the enemies from that flank, and these two will engage the enemy cavalry. Perhaps we should... well, let's see. If the cavalry is not willing to engage, then perhaps the rest of the units are. Okay, I don't think those guys will be coming back. And then let's take care of the Urban Cohort. Okay, and then we have these last remaining enemies to deal with. Let's try to make sure that they are not coming back. Okay.
This is a glorious achievement. Your victory is total. Crushing would be a better word.
So, a bit over 10 casualties. It might very well be that Scythed Chariots are actually the top contender for the best units in the game. Of course, there are some minuses, you cannot utilize them on the walls or taking the walls, but still, I mean, this streak they had here is impressive. So, overall, the unit gets a staggering 580 points out of 600 from battles. And that's just outstanding for tier 2 units in the game. I'm wondering if any unit can actually beat the overall score of the unit, and it did not do that badly even in requirements. So the unit cost is 980 denarii, so that earns it only 17 points out of 50. The upkeep cost is 160 per turn, so the 10-turn upkeep is 1600, earning it 70 points, which is, well, kind of average, but at the same time it's actually better than from Principes, which is rather impressive. It's only tier 2 unit, so 80 points from requirements. Clear downside is that it takes 2 turns to train, so that's only 50 points out of 100 from time, so overall the requirements give it 217 points out of 400. Thus the total score is 797, and I have to say once again, that's really, really impressive. I'm doubting that any unit can actually beat it, because that battle score is just so great. But yeah, let me know what do you think about the units in the comments below. And thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member, and very special thanks to existing channel members Napoleon Complex, Cosacus Armark, Anthony, Bluey Eye Wolf. Your support is greatly treasured. Have a great rest of the day. QualityOldGames out.